Alright, so I sold some of my
We
stuff.
can gather it here, or at my place.
I'm ready.
We can gather it here, or at my place. You choose.
We're finally sailing. I hope that Skellige is gonna be the final. I suppose it is. The final battle. Finally.
Yennefer, if this is untrue, it's true.
What?
Help protect Ciri from the Wild Hunt, and the Emperor will grant you amnesty.
I wouldn't
I
believe
hope we
that.
can trust you.
You can.
What of Fringilla?
That I don't know, but I shall take it up with him.
I wouldn't believe that. One bit. If I was Philippa, I would bolt.
You barely said hello and you're already plotting something.
It's clearly in our nature.
Yes. Secure them amnesty, really? You know what? I hope she has, and then Emir betrays her.
I hear right. You convinced the Emperor to pardon them?
Provided they help us defend Ciri.
In exchange for
Got
Ciri?
a hard time believing Emperor'd go in for a deal like that.
If you can't believe it, don't. I don't need you to.
She obtained that because it is in exchange for Ciri, so of course he's gonna do it. What about Fringilla? I don't know where she is.
Bit about Frangilla. What was that? Triss told me you couldn't contact her.
Perhaps because she sits in the Emperor's dungeon,
Good.
chained in Dimeritium. At least that's what Rita implied.
You go, Emir. You go. How would Rita know? Yeah, but she would, maybe, with some sorceries.
Take it the Emperor forgot to tell you about this.
I don't like it. That was not our deal.
You don't like
when it's
it?
all over, I'll need to have a candid discussion with the Emperor.
Oh yeah, you do.
Come. They're all waiting for us.
I hope he backstabs all of you at once with one swift hand. You deserve it. I mean, imagine if this was Emir's plan.
I've seen better.
We're basically hauling the lodge to him. I would do that if I was Emir. You girls talk? You talk?
How are you feeling?
Better, I thank you. If you'd not arrived in time, things might have ended considerably worse. I am your debtor.
Thank
Sure.
Yennefer. It was her idea, her plan.
More out of character, Knightly Geralt. Ah yeah, the school, there's not only Aretusa, there are various schools, I think. From what I understood.
If you're here, what's become of Aretusa?
The day I arrived in Novigrad, I received a message from Beruta Ikati. A short, curt note. School overrun by Redanians. The libraries burn. Handful of pupils fled with Nina Vivero, the rest are dead. It is over. Later I learned priests of the Eternal Fire stood amidst the Academy's ruins, promising the rabble that such a punishment awaited all mages and traitors.
Well, you did this. You and your friend of the lodge did this during Witcher 2, so... You're acting now surprised and expect pity? I don't know.
Thought Margarita Loantil would be among the last to get nabbed by witch hunters.
Why?
Were it dependent solely on me, of course I would have. But you forget I had my students to consider. I knew the hunters would eventually reach Aretusa. It was but a matter of time. So when I heard Triss was organizing escapes to Kavir, I saw no reason to hesitate.
And so
I gathered
what?
my novices and we rode here to Novigrad. Sadly, we were caught and thrown in Dayrad before I could contact Triss.
Well, that
Didn't
could
see any
happen.
other sorceresses in there with you?
Because they'd already been executed. bad, alive, one after the other. The most talented girls in the north. Radovid was saving me for last.
I mean, think about it. That face, Geralt. If Margarita had thought at all about her students, he wouldn't have been part of the lodge to begin with. It's that simple if you think about it. Ultimately, these students were the ones that paid the price for her, and there's the likelihood that they didn't even know
Farewell,
she
Rita.
was in the lodge. By the way, all of them were females. I don't know, maybe it was an all-female school, but I just realized now that most people really never played the other two games. Most people play this one. This one is the popular one. So they wouldn't know really what happened before. And by the way, you can side with the lodge as well. I understand what the lodge tried to do. I've said it many times. I
Got a
just...
minute?
Of course.
Knightly Geralt never approved. Also because he's a mostly neutral character.
go.
But
All right. We'll talk later.
I wonder, Tris, should we decompress that statuette?
Yes, Geralt?
This game is clearly biased,
Tris.
but there are no backlogs that
Geralt?
explain what happened in the other two games. I wonder what the
Thanks,
basic
Yen.
world state is
See you later.
here. Probably just the same one over and over and over, because these games don't really follow up on the decisions you made.
All are present. You were the last to arrive. Might we set sail?
Yes, we might.
Anchors away.
At least Ciri is happy. Poor thing. What? What banner? Is that the Skellige's fleet? I can't see anything. We need to know who they are.
Well, that settles the question of His Imperial Majesty's whereabouts.
What?
Does he aim to conquer Skellige? But he knows. Those are my friends.
He wishes to grant you the Isles, with Sintra and the rest of the Empire.
Aren't you happy,
There is an
Ciri?
upside to all this.
Is that so?
The Emperor will have to help us fight the Hunt. And we've just found Frangilla Vigo.
Excuse me. How lucky we are, indeed. Because that chick is gonna be on that boat, yes. It does make sense. This doesn't
We
make
must hurry and
sense.
find the Sunstone. Seems we've plenty to do in Skellige after that.
Yeah, about the
Fringilla Vigo.
Sunstone.
We need her here.
Yeah, of course we need her. We probably don't, but we do, right? By the way, I'm the kind of person that really hates plot objects. I don't understand why we just don't throw Ciri in the middle of the bay and be done with it, as if Eredin wouldn't come. Really? We need to do this Sunstone thing for what? To call them here? Do we need that? It's like the phylactery, something that we don't really need and that sends us running around. Can you teleport me into the Emperor's ship? Why? This is impossible. If Emir's fleet is here, Skellige would be already bombarding them. Like, seriously, this doesn't make sense anymore. And Avalak saying that Fringilla Vigo is here. Why would she be here? She would be back in the dungeons, not here. Unless Emir has brought Fringilla to Yen. Because he's nice. Because at this point he's nice. Isn't he?
At the moment, we don't even know what the Sunstone is.
It was created so the mountain elves could summon the vessels of the NL. Now it merely serves as a symbol of a lost opportunity to unite the two tribes.
Her necklace is coming and going.
Truly? Can all of you be unfamiliar with the story of Gelban and Dillion of the White Fleet?
Tell it. Well, he probably knows a lot of legends that we have never heard about for, what, more than 400 years, because he's older than that. Let's hear it.
Tell us, please. Absolutely love elven legends.
Gelban was a sage of the Elder Elves. He fell in love with an Enshe elf, Dillion. Yet she
What is
spurned
going
him.
on?
That was a jest on Geralt's part.
No, it wasn't.
Too late. It won't hurt any of you to know this. On the day the White Fleet was to set sail, Gelban gave Dillion a gift. The Sunstone. He believed Dillion's heart would soften in time. Once her longing for him burgeoned, she was to use the Sunstone. Though worlds away, he would return for her.
Sounds promising. Let's just hope this Sunstone proves more useful to us than it did to that elf woman.
Thank you. It was actually nice. I can hear him thinking stuff like, I'm surrounded by idiots. I want to go away from here. I don't know how he could stand Ciri for a month, never mind 6. I'm more interested in how to use it, yeah. Default Geralt would probably. Whatever.
What I want to know is if we'll be able to use the Sunstone.
You? No. Me? Naturally.
Good.
With a touch of help from the sorceresses.
Of whom some are below deck vomiting, while others remain unreachable.
Well, you know, below deck vomiting is decent. They deserve to be impaled. I guess they're having it easy. We are sure the Sunstone is in Skellige. My god. It could have been lost to the ages, but we know where it is. Because Allah knows. That's it.
The Sunstone's in Skellige? How do we know that?
From legends. Elven ones. It lies where the White Fleet landed centuries ago.
Meaning
Yeah.
anywhere on any one of the isles. Splendid.
But,
Ermin. I'll talk to him.
Know where he is?
I'll ask around the port. Croc's longships are moored there.
I don't want to be teleported onto the Emperor's ship.
Can you teleport me onto Amir's ship?
Not a chance. It's better shielded than the Emperor's alcove.
Though we could try to force our way through.
We need Fringilla in one piece.
They know we're here. Well, yes, probably.
Think they know we're here?
Emir's mages, of course.
If the matter of Fringilla Vigo were resolved, they'd probably just send her over here in a skiff.
It's far from resolved. The Emperor pledged to ensure the Lodge's safety, but
Fringilla's a pricklier matter. She's his subject, one officially sentenced to death for treason.
you'll need to learn what Emir has planned for her, once we've found a way to toss you over to the Imperial flagship.
I'm hating this minute by minute by minute. Let's get over with it.
I'll get on the Emperor's ship myself.
A plan to swim? With swords on your back?
I always
You'll
do.
get shot up like a sitting duck before you can say the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes.
It doesn't work like
Don't
that.
panic.
That's a long phrase.
He'll find a way. Make your approach by night. You'll stand a better chance then. And once you're on board, show His Imperial Majesty this letter. Hand it to him directly. You should remind him what he promised, and what he'll get in return.
I don't understand. Why am I hiding the fact that I'm going there? Why don't you go there?
I'm off.
Good luck.
You know, that piece of armor Ciri has over her to protect her from the cold is not really working properly because she's all open in front, so makes me laugh a bit, but it's okay. Your Imperial Majesty, allow me to remind you that our arrangement encompassed all the sorceresses wishing to take part in the risky endeavor whose success is so vital to us. I find it hard to believe that in the current situation, when I have already succeeded in gathering so many members of the Lodge, you would refuse to allow Fringilla Vigo to join our company. I don't understand how Yen could think this. I mean, of course she has promised him Ciri, for sure, right? That's her plan. But if I was Emir, I would betray her. And if I was Yen, I would betray him. And if I was Philippa, I would have already bolted. I understand there are personal factors that make you reluctant to part with your subject, but I assure you our interests are aligned in those matters as well. I promise that I will uphold the condition of our arrangement, despite the fact that they will demand sacrifices of me and will leave me in an unfortunate situation. I don't understand if she's talking about selling out Ciri or selling out the Lodge afterwards, so she may have... I mean, that would be pretty badass if Yen actually is tricking the rest of the member of the Lodge into false safety. That would be a nice hand, but I don't think so, because you know what she could have done. If it's not about Ciri, she could have how do you say, exchanged her pardon with the rest of the members of the Lodge. So Yen is forever gonna be safe, but she's gonna sell out Philippa, probably not Triss, because Triss, I don't know where is Triss in all this, but I bet out. I don't think she... I think she's helping Ciri, but not necessarily wanting to mingle with the Lodge again. Plus, she has stuff with the mages in Kovir, I suppose. I bet she will go back to there, so... I therefore request politely, yet with great insistence, that you release Fringilla. And I'm going there. And welcome back. I tapped out last time and then I deleted my checkpoint. I thought I saved, but I had to replay the last bit.
Perhaps you should talk to him after all.
What would be the point? Surely none now.
And later? Don't count your father out just because he's the world's richest and most powerful.
Authoritarian rotter unworthy of even 1 inch of trust.
Actually, of all people, I believe you can trust him. Perhaps you even should.
What about the dictatorial rotter part?
Something to get used to.
Yes, Ciri, get used to it. Triss coughing when Yen was talking about trusting Emir. Triss doesn't want to be there anymore. She's keeping out of everything, more or less. She's here to help because she's a friend, but I guess she has other business going on. Girls... Actually, you know what? Do you talk, please?
Yes, Geralt?
Oh my god. Finally. Finally I get some dialogue with you. Just random stuff. I mean, random stuff. I'm so happy. God. How is Margarita? Whatever.
Margarita any better?
I managed to accelerate tissue regeneration. She's feeling much better. In fact, we must bring Eredin here as soon as possible. Otherwise, I'm afraid these sorceresses of yours will start fighting amongst themselves.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be surprising at all now, wouldn't it? Can we talk about the fact that he's well? I don't know, is that a credit to Yen or to him for being really resilient? I mean, after how we broke the curse, I mean, he recovered quite well. Soon Ciri won't need your help anymore. Yeah, well, that's for Ciri to decide. Maybe. Right, like everything else should be.
From the look of things, pretty soon Ciri won't need your help anymore.
Nor yours.
Yeah.
True. She'll do whatever she wants, and I'll support her. What about you? Ready to let her live her own life?
I shan't force her to do anything if that's your question.
That was not the question. You didn't answer. He basically just said that no, he's not gonna leave her alone. Kind of. I could believe him when he says he's not gonna force her. Depends on his tactics. And ultimately depends from Ciri. You know, blackmailing can be viewed as persuading somebody. That's a point of view now, isn't it? I mean, he's absolutely not coy. He's forward and direct, and weirdly enough, he's almost childlike genuine in how he behaves. I'm not saying he's a good person. I don't know him, but I guess you can believe what he says to you. He could even be a good manipulator, but I don't think he lies. He omits. But he doesn't straight lie to you. It's not like the sorceresses we have around here. He's much more refined than that. If he needs to get somewhere. I guess he can be extremely persuasive because he's rational and pragmatic, and you don't escape sense. No matter how much you try. Charming world. Well, whatever. I'm taking anything the game gives me.
Charming world you and Elle have got. Could easily fall in love with the place. Tell me, how do you do it? Sit around playing flute, painting rutting unicorns in gorgeous landscapes, building ornately sculpted towers, and then you murder us without batting an eye.
Excuse me,
without a
Geralt.
hint of guilt. How?
Why not?
Do you humans feel guilt when you murder Enshe elves? Or dwarves? Or dryads?
We are the same. Simply because we both firmly believe others are inferior.
See? Actually, that's debatable whether it is inferiority. It could be fear, ignorance. It's telling that he chose that one. And yet not really, because he's really open about his dislike for humans. Carantir, do I... yeah.
Tell me something more about Caranthir. Know him well?
Know him? I reared him.
Raised, don't you mean?
No, Geralt. I began shaping him long before he was born. For centuries, I brought together pairs of elves manifesting certain abilities, those able to manipulate time and space. He is the result of these efforts. Caranthir, a golden child. Golden child who grew up to be a criminal.
Now, this is interesting. So this guy is an good lord. He dabbles in eugenics. God, doubles. Doesn't look like the right word. I was kinda laughing my ass off when he said brought together. Well, at this point, he wouldn't have said it to me otherwise if this was not somewhat normal in their society. Would explain the long, long names. Or maybe this is his pet project, so I don't know. Could be. Some people are squeamish about the subject. Me, I don't care. As long as it's not forced on someone, and well, we do it all the time with plants and animals. There's a little bit of hypocrisy there, but that makes me think about the blackmailing affair and Ciri. It's starting to make some weird kind of sense. But a criminal now. easy. Because he's with Eredin? I mean Caranthir. Because he defected from you? Because he made his own choice? Unless he did something criminal and I don't know about it. Why are you helping Ciri?
You imprisoned Ciri the first time you met her.
Oh.
Now you protect her while fighting against your own kind. Quite an about-face.
Yes.
First of all, I did not imprison her. She found me. It was her destiny.
Oh God.
Yeah, sure. Get to the second of all. Why are you helping her?
Because she is a danger. A mortal one. You look at her and see a human, a ward, a daughter even. I look and see the Elder Blood. A power that can destroy the world. A power that must be kept from Eredin's power-addled hands at all costs. Admittedly, our motives differ. Yet in spite of that, we share a goal. So, you would be wise to trust me. Or at least try.
She's dangerous, and yet you want more people with her abilities, don't you? You gotta love his choice of words, though. I cannot, you imprisoned her. Avala, she found me. Oh, this is way too entertaining. It might be that Eredin got Ciri. That's more likely. Eredin captured her, but she somehow entered in contact with Avalach as well. Because, honestly, we don't know what kind of relationship there was between Eredin and Avalach before the king died. I don't know the truth there, but I can see how it would be quite a weird development for the two of them, I mean Ciri and Avalach, to be in any relationship at all. I don't think it's a case of Stockholm Syndrome anyway, because like they really have each other's back. That's pretty clear. Seeing it from the outside, it seemed like they sort of bonded over trauma and or because they were thrown together by all that happened now, all the times they had to escape. But I'm speculating, so I won't dwell. It is all extremely interesting, but very vague. He keeps depersoning her, though. Oh lord, how do I convey this? Avalach refers to Ciri as if she's a thing. He's not the only one, but it might be relevant because of their, you know, student-teacher relationship, but he never calls her Ciri. He calls her other things. He's sometimes unhappy she's unresponsive towards him, but he never actually acknowledges her as herself, as a person. And Ciri probably being a feeler and all, you know, that's where the frustration in their relationship comes from. I don't know if he doesn't acknowledge her on purpose or not. I don't know. That would be interesting to know. Many other people, the person Ciri, but she seems particularly frustrated with Avalach because, yeah. I wonder if he has ever picked up on the fact that she has a crush on him. He seems like the kind of person who wouldn't notice, though. That's hilarious.
So long.
Well then, I'm happy we talked, if anything. Wow. I had to interrupt a couple of times. Good lord. You know, I was asking myself whenever I was reading stuff on genes and DNA in this game what they meant by it. And, well, they mean the real deal, I suppose. Now I know. I remember reading a book as well on words. On whether or not magic was hereditary, and whether or not it could be taken out from the genetic makeup. I don't remember which book it was, but there are a lot of references. So I guess the book was Yen's. Don't remember.